Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm going to be doing a reading. Put everything on the screen. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is something inside you is changing. So there's a lot of shifting going on in the world. That's not a big surprise if things are shifting inside you. I'm wondering though, are these shifts things you need to prepare for? Or are these shifts things that you need to prevent, right? So let's see. Just going to get some cards for us. Okay. Good morning, ladies. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Just having a little conversation with Michaela. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Here it goes. Okay, the feminine keeps coming up in cards. It's this sense of what I'm hearing is everything is hinging on the feminine, on that sensitivity that you might be having. Everything is hinging on your willingness to listen to what your soul is guiding you to do. Okay. Has a lot to do with a masculine being upside down yet again. Maybe he lives in the upside down. This, I mean, okay. All right. Let me just look at the cards. Okay. So someone is waiting for the feminine to kind of process some things. There's a sense of like disrespect, right? Like there was a disrespect that occurred, and it's almost like this thing of not communicating, not allowing for proper discussion, for proper awareness to be allowed to occur. I mean, it's up to you. If you really don't want to talk to people, that's okay. But just know that there's a lot. It's contingent on your willingness to communicate, right? So there's something that's kind of serving like a secret. I don't get the sense of a major, massive secret, but it's kind of just like not communicating, feelings and needs and whatnot. I'm assuming. Let me not assume. So imagination. There's a sense of like gaslighting going on, right? I think it might be self-gaslighting where for whoever this is, it's like trying to pretend like nothing is wrong, trying to really, really project this sense of stability and okayness. So I don't know if that's a word. But it's really just a lot of old cycles that are rising up to the surface. This is like a coping mechanism that keeps being used. Just giving me anxiety. So, rebirth in reverse. It's almost like this refusal to approach things in a different way. Some people get so accustomed to dealing things in only one manner because they really have had no choice but to deal with things in only one manner. And it's this risk, a very real risk of repeating the same patterns that led to dissatisfaction um, in the past. I mean, it's this sense of just trying to be as invisible as possible, hiding away those needs, those feelings. Um, you know, um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Trying their best to be as obedient as possible to what they believe is the will of soul. And it's like, I don't know if it's you or if it's someone else, I don't think the person realizes that what soul is asking for is a shift in the types of cycles that you allow yourself to participate in. Um, I do it too, so it's not something that's super de duper uncommon. It's something that many of us do where we continue to perpetuate the same cycles of they're like coping mechanisms, really. Coping mechanisms. This sense of, oh, mm, mhm. I'm trying to remain in my space of authenticity, but I don't want to be emotional today. I'll finish the reading. Because I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of live streaming. So, these are cycles that are going on. They're nothing but cycles. All things that are needing to be shifted and changed. Um, there's a lack of listening that's happening, and this lack of listening is leading to more struggle. There's a need to really make sure that you're sitting in your space of center and allowing yourself to understand what process you're in, right? It's this sense of hopelessness and wishing for things that really are not within the realm of what's I guess you could say sanctioned for your soul. It's about going through the process that you're in and allowing yourself to tap into a deeper reserve of power, power over your journey, power over your emotions, the power to process a lot of the circumstance that you're experiencing. It's about going into that high priestess of earth energy. This is about not allowing yourself to go with the flow of where your journey is taking you, right? Allowing yourself to pause for a moment to reassess exactly what it is um, you're resisting. Are you resisting your rebirth? Are you resisting this process of you breaking open, right? Is it a breakdown or is it you breaking open and allowing more of yourself to be so I'm just irritated. I just want to read for you guys with none of this being anything about anything that I have to process for myself. And I will process all the things that I need to process. I just am tired of my process being consistently on display. I'm tired. Not physically, but I'm tired of having to consistently share everything that I don't want to share. And some people might think, well, then just take a break, take a nap. It's not going to stop. You can't take a break from whatever your purpose is. And if part of what your purpose is to be witnessed, you can't take a break from that. And these are cycles that will continue through for the rest of my life. Cycles of understanding and accepting the gravity of the purpose I was born to fulfill. And cycles of being resentful that I'm forced to do so. Some souls are not born with a sovereign free will. Such are the souls who incarnate for service. You can delay, you can distort, but eventually the distortions are cleared and clarity is restored, and the delay that you created through that distortion is done. I'm just tired of people watching me cry. And I understand that the world is needing to witness someone who has the courage to feel life in the full flow of motion and emotion. And Michael says, but, there's no but.
It's hard to allow other people to witness you in your process when you're such an introverted person. And then comes the question of why did you not just design me to be extroverted? Because then it would be easy and inauthentic. So then comes the realization of everything still is as it should be. There were no miscalculations, there were no mistakes. That in order to fulfill whatever I'm here to fulfill, it requires the witnessing of me in my actual process. So something inside you is changing. And whatever is changing inside you is ending cycles, very intense cycles. Compliance can never be mistaken for obedience. True obedience is submission to the divinity, that divine will of your own soul. Compliance is going through the motions just so you can be in compliance. But until you reach a point of divine obedience to your soul, you will have resistance, you will have resentment. So Michael says to share, I resent being seen. I resent being witnessed. I resent being different. I resent my incapacity to be just like everyone else. I resent the depth of clarity that I can understand things with minimal information. And even in that resentment, I will still show up every day. I will still continue to push forward and do what I'm needing to do. Because as Michael is reminding me right now, life was not designed to be easy. It was not designed to be monotonous. Life was designed to challenge you, to place you in the very places that will challenge your limitations and what you believe about yourself. So something inside you is changing. And whatever it is that changes, It will take you to a higher level of understanding of who you are, and what you're here to do. He goes on to say, it's because I don't want to be seen. It's because I don't want recognition that I'm so perfectly suited for being witnessed. And logically, I understand that. Logically, intellectually, I understand that. Because I do not want the very task I'm given. I can simply focus on completing the task rather than tapping into unbalanced ego and using the task to feed that unbalanced ego. Emotionally, I still don't understand why I have to be seen. I still don't understand why I have to be paraded around like a little show, showcasing all the components that I would like to quietly work on with no one around. And at some point, you will do the work to find that middle ground that takes you from a space of compliance into a space of the beginning of your obedience to your own soul. You're not being asked to be obedient to anyone else. Like I said, some people have sovereign free will. They're here for their learning and their growth, nothing more. And then there are those who are here and don't have a human sovereign free will. They are here in service to the collective whole. And everything they do, whether it's in rebellion to their soul or in compliance of what's being asked, everything they do always will take them one step closer to that moment of fulfillment. Not fulfilling them to the point of satisfaction, but fulfillment of the very purpose they were created and incarnated for. And I've said it before, no one can stop me, not even myself. Not even myself. Because everything I do takes me one step closer to whatever it is, wherever it is that I'm supposed to be. Whether I walk or am dragged is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. When you are here in the capacity of service, you will have additional power. You will have additional ability. You will have the gift of clarity and precognitive ability. Why? It's not so you can save the world. It's so that you better understand you have no choice but submission. And people who don't go through these cycles, I wonder what their purpose actually is. People who have platforms and build followings based on their words, their perceptions, what really is their purpose? What really is their effect on each of you? So many people wanting the very thing that I have. I understand. I see it. I see it with clarity. So many people want what I have. Not understanding the price that's paid every day to be in compliance with it. So something is shifting inside you. Something is changing. And people might say, I mean, you can stop whenever you want. Can I? Did I even have a choice to begin? To force my compliance. Michael broke my brakes and stranded me in a parking lot. To force my compliance to rise. People who claim to love me form groups to tear me down. People whose lives I've changed for the better. Turned around and accused me of being a demon. The price that's paid for compliance. There's a price for every elevation. Every elevation that you reach, it comes at the cost of the person you once thought you were. Very steep price. And even after paying these prices, you have to manage to find a way to be grateful. To be thankful for having survived everything you've survived, and then to force yourself to get up and thrive. Like, I don't expect anyone to pity me. I have an amazing life. I have a very amazing life, and I'm genuinely thankful for my life. And it's okay for us to go through these cycles where we feel so deeply the polar opposite of what we know we should feel. Because intellectual intelligence is something completely different and far removed from your emotional intelligence. As you reach higher levels of intellectual, logical development, you then will pause so that you can shift your focus into developing your emotional intelligence. Those are two separate things. And I guess today, right here, you're witnessing the shifting, the change from a focus on development of my intellectual intelligence and shifting it to focus on my emotional intelligence. It's this process that all of us end up going through at some point. And some of us, as we're prepared to reach higher levels of service to the collective whole, we cycle through these processes multiple times in our lifetime, sometimes multiple times in a month. Am I depressed? No. Do I have some type of psychological imbalance or disturbance? No. This is me being gifted an opportunity to have a very normal human moment where I'm finally allowing myself to feel overwhelmed, frustrated. This is what I asked for, right? To be just like other people, to have the capacity to be just like every other normal person out there. This is what normal people do when they feel the weight that my shoulders were designed to carry. So now that I've had my normal person moment, back to work. Natural endings in reverse. These are things that will not stop. They will not end, not because you're doing things wrong, but because you deserve everything you ask for. That includes the moments where you need to feel the gravity of what it is you're doing, the gravity of what you are tasked to do. And it's okay. It is okay to be able to rebound from such a dense, painful sensation and return back to a space of center. Dark interference will not work if you allow yourself to experience these periods of clarity. These are periods of clarity because let's face it, when you're living a human life, having human experiences, the gravity of the hurt is intense. It's a gravity so intense that it makes it hard to move your feet. And maybe you don't need to move to any spaces outside of the space you currently occupy because you're in the process of returning back to your royalty. For some of us, we come from royal lineages of souls. Yes, I come from one. And if you've ever existed as a royal, you know you have more of an obligatory existence than the peasants do. That your existence is in service to their stability. So, no, it's not this space of feeling and thinking I'm somehow superior, that royal souls are somehow superior. In the grand scheme of things, in the histories that I remember, it is always the king who charges first into the war. It is the king that everyone wants to kill. It's not the other soldiers.
He's dressed different. He stands out. He is the primary objective. You take down the king, the entire kingdom will fold. And so the king is the most heavily trained from childhood. They take him from the comfort of his family and they force him to train, to develop skills, to cultivate a mindset so that he can effectively serve. The same applies for the queens. They are taught to be powerful, to go into battle beside their king. It's only when humans began that the kings and queens were kept in castles. Everything I remember before that, we always would be the first to go into war. Oftentimes, the first ones to die. What a valiant death to die for your people. It's current human logic, this modern logic that we have, that, you know, if you have an elevation like that, then you're superior and everyone should just, you know, bow down to you, and you know, you're to be worshipped and you're not to do anything and life is to be easy, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. That is the furthest thing from the truth. And this is the very reason why it's easy for me, and I don't hesitate to say, yes, my soul comes from a royal lineage. Just makes us better equipped to serve. And that's it. Card number 43, Rejuvenation Sigil. You will be rejuvenated when you allow yourself to be fully in the process. The process itself will rejuvenate you. Invoke the Oraphim in reverse. When the war is against yourself, you don't need protection. You need clarity. That's what that card tells me. You don't need elevations in protection. You need clarity. You need to understand what you're fighting and why. You need to allow yourself to really, really, really come to terms with why you refuse to allow yourself to receive the support, to receive the love, the encouragement, the everything. You have to allow yourself to receive. You have to allow yourself to do what it is that your soul is asking you to do. Your soul will only ask you so many times and be patient for so many years. It takes me a long time, a very complex process of compliance that leads to submission. It takes a lot to get me to comply. It takes even more to get me to submit. It requires breaking me down so that I can be broken open. So, for example, I was refusing to live stream because that would make me publicly visible. And I didn't feel like anyone needed to see my face in order to receive my words. And so, in the middle of me considering live streaming with strictly audio, no visuals, Michael broke my brakes and stranded us. And then he modified my phone so that I wouldn't have the option to live stream strictly as an audio broadcast. And that's why you can see me. And as I allowed myself to comply with live streaming, he then told me that I was not supposed to be on Facebook, that I was supposed to be on YouTube, and I refused. And instead, I told him, I will excel. I will excel on Facebook. Just let me pick what platform and I will excel. I will do as I'm told, and I will take it to levels that I'm expected to take it to, because I wouldn't leave Facebook. All of Facebook was in an uproar. Everyone is in an uproar because why? Because me. Because what did I do? I did what I said. I would excel and I would reach levels that I needed to reach. I would expand my reach to the degree that it should satisfy the requirements. And I did it. I was on the way to doing it. It wasn't compliance. I wasn't supposed to be on Facebook. And that's when all the fuckery started. All the accusations, all the bullshit drama. It's not because people are evil. It's because I was not in compliance with what I was tasked to do. And so people who had the capacity to tap into an evil nature, a malignant, malicious nature, they were encouraged to do so and directed at me. And now I've been being told for about 2 years now. I'm supposed to have a private server. I'm supposed to have a nationally broadcast syndicated show. I don't want to. I don't want to go into a studio. I want to be in a bedroom designated as my workroom in my home. Work for an hour and a half, turn off the live stream, and go hang out with my family before I have to do private sessions. So, what you're witnessing right now is the preparation for explosive growth. I am aware. I am at the cusp. And I am aware that I'm considering sabotaging everything so that I'm not pushed beyond the threshold. If I don't comply, that will be a very heavy correction. If I do comply, that launches me into the next level. And everything I saw would happen will happen in an accelerated way.
and my life of anonymity is gone. And you won't be able to take that back. You won't ever be able to go back to that. And then comes the questions of, is it that bad? Is it that bad? Is it really that bad? It is. Because as different as you guys have witnessed me be already, it's nothing how different I actually am. And it won't be my community that knows, it will be everyone. It is not going to be just negativity like that. I already know what they'll say. They'll say that I sold my soul. They'll say that I used demonic things to be able to do what I can do. And then there will be those who will try and take me, to weaponize me. And there will be people who will fight over me. Just because they know. I'll never be left alone. People will always hound after me. I'll never alone. I'll never again be able to enjoy time alone with my family. There will always be strangers. But we'll be wealthy. I don't want wealth. But we'll be able to afford 24-hour security. I don't want to live that way. But I'll be able to travel around the world. I don't want to travel without my kids. And when you reach a point where you're at the cusp, you're at the cusp of a period of acceleration. You become hyper aware of all of the things you need to be aware of. Because although your soul will force you into situations that you're meant to live in, your soul is not heartless. It will let you know. It'll give you advanced knowledge. It will let you know. And so I'm aware. I am aware my life is about to change tremendously. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I just don't want it. And it's okay for you to be in a space where you feel like you don't want what your purpose is. It's okay for you to not want it, but you're still going to do it. You're still going to do it because you promised before you ever even incarnated into this life. You promised quite a few that you would do specific things, that you would do everything that you have promised to do. And I tell you, once that promise is activated, there's no going back. You'll be allowed to think you have the option of going back, but I tell you, you can't. Once the consciousness is stretched beyond a specific point, it cannot return back to its original dimensions. Twin ray healing. Emotions. Allowing your emotions to flow and be recognized by you. Allowing yourself to process everything. So this is not going to be the start of a new chapter. This is going to be the completion of the chapter you're writing now, and then a moment to assess, to just really assess if you understand everything you were tasked to learn during this chapter. Some of us might think we need a timeout. What is a timeout to you? Like a short break? Are you saying you need a short break? Or are you trying to tap out, period? Because I think you'd be able to take a short break, but if you think that your short break is going to give you, it's going to be the segue for you to quit, I don't think that's going to be allowed. I got an email. New deals. You got it. So I think this is an indication that so many of us are going to be reaching even higher levels of achievement very, very soon. It's not specific to only me. I know there's quite a few, more than a handful of souls who are on the same timeline and trajectory that I am on. We're being prepared to
to rise from the space we've buried ourselves. I've never noticed this face. It's like a face made of love, an identity made of love, an identity that was buried very, very, very deep, and it rests in the roots of the tree. It's a secondary tree, much larger than the first, but it's still in its seed phase. It's being prepared. It's being prepared. Thank you, Yogi. Nothing will be allowed to happen to me. Those potentialities are my potentialities if I don't step into a space of truly owning my power. If I allow people to witness me with apologies of who I am and how different I am, that's my destiny. If I fully own my ability, have no shame in it, and have no desire to hide it, who would challenge someone like that? It's what you give permission for. It's the very reason I had to experience that man at the gym, to come to an understanding. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's to come to this understanding of owning who you are, owning everything about you, having no more apologies, you know, not having any apologies at all. Hold on. All right. So walk your truth, but it's in reverse. So it's just like I was saying, this thing of if you don't walk your truth, then people will walk on you. If you don't walk your truth, people will walk on you, right? Shine in reverse. Dulling yourself is the same as refusing to not walk in your truth. It's a process to get to a point where your shine is exactly what you need it to be. Evidence of your connection to divinity, evidence of your capacity to receive, evidence of your continuous rejuvenation, just really everything that will help to reassure you that you are on the right path, doing the right thing, and that your existence matters, right? The reality is this: all of us, all of our existences matter. We matter tremendously. We matter. And if we allow other people to convince us that we don't matter, then we will begin to behave and be further treated as though we don't matter. We absolutely matter. Every single last one of us. We absolutely matter. Card number 30, strength. Are you aware that tigers are just as comfortable in the water as they are on the land? This is about you recognizing your strength is not applicable in only one type of situation, one type of environment. You can exist in various environments and still hold that same power, still hold that same level of grace, compassion, purpose, potency. It's just a matter of what you will allow for yourself. For a short while there, as I was discussing with my team about the potentiality of me doing, um, like finally accepting interviews, because for a couple years I was receiving interview requests and I would deny it. I don't want to. I would get invitations to do podcasts. I don't want to. I wouldn't be me if I said yes. But for a little bit there, as we were talking about finally stepping into that arena, um, it was this question, this doubt, um, this doubt of like, am I only potent in my perceptions on my channel and nowhere else? Will the potency of my perception carry the same on other people's channels, on other people's podcasts and whatnot? I think it does. I think I've been given the confirmation I needed. It does. I didn't shrink. I didn't make things awkward for everyone. I didn't do all the things that I was worried that I would do, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. So unsure of myself, just so unsure. See, people look at me and they think, oh, she's so confident. She has all this confidence, and like, I want to be confident like her. And I think there's a huge part of me that people misunderstand. They misinterpret my conviction for confidence. I'm not necessarily a confident person, but I do carry a deeply passionate conviction of what I will not allow people to do to me anymore. I do carry a conviction, a deeply passionate conviction that I am allowed to have a differing belief system than other people and that I don't need agreement to be validated. That because I think this and I have considered it for many, many years, that in itself is validation for me. So I'm not actually a very confident person. I'm just highly convicted. I have a conviction that fuels me in a way that when push comes to shove, be ready for an inferno. Don't trigger the conviction. We have to let go. We have to let go of this space we sit in the shadows, this space where we think that our components are nothing but weeds and, fallen twigs, and we exist to simply be burned by other people, to serve as the fuel for other people's rise. That's nonsensical. That's nonsensical. Do you know how much you can create with a twig? And that twig has to have come from somewhere. Where's your tree? You show me your tree and I'll show you the mansion I can build for you. See, that's not confidence, that's conviction. I have a deeply held belief that there is nothing that can stop me from doing whatever I set my mind to, whether I know what that is or not, whether I've taken classes for that or not, irrelevant. Whatever I need to learn, if I don't already know, if I don't have someone brought to me to teach me, I will teach myself. I'm fully capable of understanding. And yes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging because if it's something you don't know, you have to learn, you have to apply yourself. See, I learn things very easily, very, very easily. But that doesn't mean I learn things very easily for everything. There are a few things that are so frustrating to me, that have been so frustrating in the past, because it took so much effort for me to grasp even the most basic concepts in that thing. But I promise you, it was the most fulfilling, the most amazing experience once I got over myself, once I let go of my need to play small because I'm not educated enough in that subject. How have you done this to yourself? How often have you done this to yourself? It's time for us to exit out of the programs that keep us very, very small. I'm going to read one last card and then I have to get going. Ooh, I love this card. I don't remember the words, but I love it. Card number 18, a new gown. Weary and consumed by longing, I was caressed by my beloved last night. My wounded soul was set free when I tasted the sweetness of love. My spirit was lifted at once. I surrendered my life while overflowing with joy, and my vision was filled with light. Love said, "Don't feel so hopeless, my weary and gloomy one, for my generosity is beyond forgetting those devoted to me. See how boundless divine justice can be. Behold my immeasurable kindness. Love embraced my spirit, and all my doubts vanished at once. A new and glorious robe of honor was placed on my shoulders. Love offered me the power of new vision and the transforming touch of divine generosity, and placed the chalice of eternal wine in my hand. I have the gift. I have the perfect gift for you. It's a gown of new colors, of colors perfectly suited to you and no other. The colors of this gown will make your eyes sparkle and gleam as though they were more beautiful than the most precious of gems. The colors of this new gown will make your skin seem luminous as if lit from within. For of course it is, beautiful angel. Your complexion is radiant with the light of life. Your hair will shine with luster, and your entire being will be complemented by this gown as it enhances your beauty in all ways. So hold on no longer to that shabby, tattered cloak, so unworthy of you. Ooh. Cast it off. Let me grace your shoulders now with this royal robe instead. That you may shine beautifully as befits a royal child of divine parentage. Beloved, if you could only see the incredible gift, the symbolic robe being offered to you now, your fears would quake and tremble, disappearing more quickly than you could imagine. Your heart would take wings and become so light your entire being would lift clean off the ground and soar like an angel bird amongst the playground of the Divine Mother's skies. Yet, like a young one, so much younger than your years and wisdom warrant, you may hold on to your tattered robes as though they were a security blanket. Though you know it's time to let it go, you may take pause and have a moment of doubt. You may wonder if the new robes will descend swiftly enough, or that without what you have known to cling on to, you will be left stark naked, exposed, and vulnerable. These thoughts are not worthy of your status, but perhaps you are yet to realize you are of the most sublime royal lineage, that you are worthy of a cloak of galaxies, a crown of stars, a body of sacred earth, and a voice of stirring music. You may be craning your neck to see who it is that can bestow permission upon you to receive a gift of such dignity. In whom is such authority vested? that you may no longer be as the beggar, asking for scraps and contenting yourself with stale crumbs. You may simply decide to shed that, stand up to walk with your head held erect and with regal grace, and assume your place at the table of divine feasting. Remember that your royal birth certificate is stamped in your heart. There is no authority required, no permission to be granted. You are what you are already, and always have been thus. All that's required from you is to realize it. This oracle comes to you with sacred portent. You are fast approaching a moment of a great leap. An evolutionary shift on your spiritual path. Your sense of yourself and your divine identity is about to be revealed. And realized in a way more potent than ever before. This is wonderful. It is a divine happening. You must allow it. Do not confuse humility with humiliation. Do not humble yourself excessively. You do not have to battle with false pride either. Simply honor yourself as a loving divine being, worthy of life, worthy of this royal path of divine realization. What a gift it is to cast aside belief in inferiority or superiority, unhelpful as those notions are for you now. What a gift instead to embrace your own path, irrespective of what others may think, whether they hold it in glory or derision. Who cares? Not you nor I. Your royal heritage has been revealed, and in seeing the divinity within yourself, you become blessed to see it in all beings returning to the realization of royalty within. Crazed searching outside of the heart will come to an end. A simple golden path will be found, as though a river of molten gold flows from your heart back to the oceanic heart of the great beloved, where, united again, you finally ascend your throne and claim your divinity once and for always. This oracle comes with sacred guidance for you. You are stepping into empowerment in a new way, and it's to be honored. Do not allow yourself to be dragged into dramas or power games. You are worth so much more than that. You are tapping into your inner dignity, and others may not know how to respond. Some will respond with love and acknowledgement, others with fear and judgment, calling you too big for your boots or high and mighty. Those are voices of fear, not truth. Be in your dignity and power and keep going. It is a divine that urges you thus, not the ego. Do not doubt the changes happening within you now. Embrace them. There's this one. It says, so hold on no longer to that shabby, tattered cloak so unworthy of you. Cast it off. Let me grace your shoulders now with this royal robe instead, that you may shine beautifully as befits a royal child of divine parentage. It's this thing of the tattered cloak carrying a secondary definition, a secondary meaning. a meaning of being hidden away. This tattered manner with which you hide yourself away is so unworthy of you. So cast off that manner with which you hide. Let me grace your shoulders now with this royal robe instead, clothing worthy of your purpose, your divinity. This that you may shine beautifully as befits a royal child of divine parentage. That to deny my parentage would be to deny my parents, my divine parents, the source from which I came. To deny myself would be to deny the gravity of their wisdom, their grace, their omnipresence, omnipotent power. It would be to deny all the truths that have ever existed in place of truth, believing the lie, a lie that I'm not enough, that I cannot handle what is to come, that it won't be something that I will be happy existing in. That's a lie. I can feel as deeply as I feel and still be a very happy person in whatever place I exist in. See, the average human is incapable of feeling more than one emotion at one time. The more you enter into a space of totality and whole being, the more capable you become of feeling the complexity of multiple emotions in one instance. Each emotion juxtaposition beside another opposing emotion to give further clarity to your understanding of what you're experiencing. So I can totally be in a space of density and sadness while still occupying a space of regal celebration and acceptance of divinity and my royal parentage. I exist as a totality, as a whole being in flesh. There is nothing in my life that I cannot handle, even with people witnessing me handling it. And just because you're handling something doesn't mean you're doing so with a fake smile, with no emotions involved. When I turned off the camera earlier, was the live stream on mute? Could you still hear me with the camera off? You couldn't hear me? Or my microphone was turned off? No, I turned off my mic and Michael turned it back on.
So, no, you're just mean. You're just mean. That's what it is. You're mean. Because you are. You're mean. All right. So, guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Um, Apparently, I'll be going live later today to do expedites. I'll be live at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do expedites later today. If you would like to get any energy work or readings done, I'll be there. I hope you're able to join me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already subscribed. Please do subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone.